Hi, everybody. I just want to thank you for stopping by to read some of my interview and my story. And I want to thank Forward Women and the organization that they are, and really love that have their mission of encouraging women in the workplace and in all of who they are in their walk with Christ. And encourage you to get more involved with them as an organization. And I hope that whether you can identify with my circumstances or you know someone who's going through similar circumstances, that my story and the way that I am wrestling through it with the Lord has been an encouragement and given you some ideas for your own life and how to share some of that with others. And I think one thing that we can take away is that God is sovereign and He's in control, and that is an encouragement to us, whatever life brings us. The other day I was reading Ruth chapter 1, and Ruth's mother-in-law, Naomi, has some really hard stuff take place in her life, and she cries out to the Lord and says, God, you have made my life better. And I think one thing that we can learn from her, the way that she expresses herself, is that she's still acknowledging that God is sovereign. And I think that's an important guardrail for us as we express and lament to the Lord, to just take away that He is still on the throne, that He's still in charge, and that He is ultimately good, even though we can't always see that in our circumstances. And just one more thought I wanted to share with you that I thought might be helpful, and that is, finding our purpose. We need to make sure that our circumstances don't always define what our purpose is. And my pastor here in Northern Virginia has a helpful little thing that he does with his hands to communicate to us about keeping things in the right perspective, basically. And that is, here's who God is, his love, His sovereignty, His power, who we are in Him as beloved daughters in Christ, and our purpose, which is to take all that we've been given and to make more of it for His kingdom and for His glory, and to point others to Christ. So that's what this is here. But unfortunately what we do is we have life circumstances come up, and we look at all of those rich truths through the lens of our circumstances. And it starts to confuse our understanding of who God is. Is He really good? Is He really in charge? Who am I? And are these circumstances now defining who I am and what my purpose ultimately is? And instead, what we need to do is flip these around and look at our circumstances through the lens of who God is, who we are in Him, and what our purpose is, which doesn't change despite the circumstances. And so that's been helpful to me, and I hope maybe if that's something to pass on to you, as life always changing, and sometimes for the better, sometimes for the not in a great direction, and we need to have that anchor for us to keep our eyes on what our purpose is. And also just want to encourage you to get more involved whether it's at Forward Women or at your church, in sharing your story and hearing the stories of other women. For me, it's been incredibly encouraging to meet other women who aren't biological moms, and yet who are living their life to the full for the Lord and living rich lives. And so I think sharing our stories and being mentored by others who have been where we are is really important. So I encourage you to continue to plug in and get involved. Thanks so much, and blessings on your day.